I'm working on a bigger video that requires more time to complete, so I'll make this video about my predictions for now. Considering 2024 is over, it's time for my 2025 predictions. This is a list of 5 predictions based on what happened in 2024 that we might see in 2025. I'll have like 5 predictions and explain them a bit. Don't take any of these seriously though, I'm just taking the piss, and none of these should be implemented by Gaijin because this would be insane. So, without further ado, let's go.
When I will grow up, I will be army and save Pakistan and destroy India. Strong army, wow, great!
In 2024, China has had a cascade of Pakistani vehicles added in its tech tree. It received the Al-Khalid-1, the Pakistani Mi-35M, and the Pakistani T-80UD event vehicle. Thanks to this, China now has a fairly decent 11.0 lineup with 2 ZTZ-99s, an MBT-2000, the Al-Khalid, the T-80UD-BE, and the Pakistani Mi-35M, all neatly wrapped around the protection of the Tor M1. With this shift to Pakistani vehicles for China, it would be funny if China got an AIM-120 carrier, but not from the Taiwanese F-16A MLU or the F-16V Block 70, but rather from the Pakistani F-16C Block 52, or it would be endlessly funny if the Pakistani F-16AM Block 15 MLU was added, and that one had the AMRAAMs while the Taiwanese one remained without them. But seriously though, it would be pretty cool to have the other Pakistani Air Force aircraft like the Project Rose Mirages and the F-7s in the Chinese tech tree. In War Thunder, the only remaining nations that don't have an F-16 in some form are Germany, Great Britain, USSR, and Sweden. Thankfully, each nation can have an F-16 that can be added to their tech tree. Germany can have the Argentinian F-16AM MLU, as the Argentinians started taking deliveries at the end of 2024, so there should be no issue adding it to their tech tree now. For Great Britain, easily they can get the F-16 Block 15 OCU that was one of the 28 Pakistani F-16AB OCUs inspected by the New Zealand Air Force in the United States and put on hold for a few years before the deal fell through because Pakistan was developing nuclear weapons and was put on an embargo. But hey, if Sweden got the Mi-28 and T-80U without them ever actually driving them, then Britain can have them through New Zealand. Sweden can get the Danish F-16s because the CV9035DK is here already, thank you Gaijin. But now, let's go to the USSR. What F-16 can the USSR get? The Ukrainian F-16 is tempting, and it's also quite easy. But, if you want to have a big brain addition, please consider the Venezuelan F-16A. Venezuela is a strong military ally of Russia and has taken deliveries of Su-30 Mk2s while still operating the F-16A. Case closed. USSR gets an F-16 without the Chernobyl-level meltdown of the Ukrainian F-16s being added to Russia. The 2025 decal for War Thunder included some interesting stuff like the F-18, which we already know is coming, and the Su-30 SM, which should be coming because USSR is being held together by Cope and Seif. And I'm a bit worried about USSR Air RB mains. They're not used to being the underdog. It might get a little crazy.
I just can't do it. I can't take this shit no more, man.
But anyways, while the USSR mains lose their minds over Cope and Seif, another vehicle in that decal is a tracked Rapier. Put that and the statement made during the covert disclosures that War Thunder 2025 will focus on top tier SAM.
I just can't do it. I can't take this shit no more, man.
However, because Gaijin refuses to add split-type air defense systems like the Patriot and the radar-guided Type 81, Britain is forced to take the tracked Rapier, whose range is 8 kilometers at best. You know, the same range as the ADATs, which is arguably just the same. So, might want to put the copium down, sir, and just abuse combat air patrol aircraft for anti-air duties if you are playing NATO. US is also getting their version of the Gepard, the XM246, because sure, why not? Israel is poised to get people say the HVMS or Adams, which is just a Macbeth after you extract it through WinRAR, so how would that be a top tier vehicle is beyond me. But there's also the Spider AIO Cooler, which is a much better candidate and actually a decent test platform for the Python 5 if it didn't get anything, or if it didn't get derbies only. If it got the Python 5, it would be a pretty nice, decent test platform. As for other nations with mid SPAA like Japan, too bad, that's all you get. It's safe to say that this 2025, naval players will be arrested and sent to work camps to think of tanks and aircraft to be added to the ground RB and air RB game mode. It's unfortunate that naval players decided to play a game mode that Gaijin put in and forgot to improve on, so instead of making the naval game mode better, it's far easier for Gaijin to just shove the 2 or 3 naval mains into a train and send them to a work camp.
You are accused of treason and anti-Soviet behavior. The court finds you guilty and sentenced you to be shot.
Their patience in grinding a slow-ass game mode will be useful when they work 24/7 to come up with new vehicles to keep GRB and ARB alive. Because if there's one thing War Thunder Naval taught me, is that work will set you free, but you have to still grind a new battleship. And finally, the A6E tram has come and gone from the Gaijin store, and the Tech Tree A6 has not been added yet. Forget the SWIP. Not even the A6B or the A6C with an earlier trim pod in the fuselage. Nope. Nothing. Just pay for the tram. If it's still there, which is not. Sorry. Maybe in 2026 you'll get your Tech Tree A6, or we'll forget that too and add another A7 variant. And more forgotten variants of US aircraft will also remain forgotten, like the A4M Skyhawk, which has been in the files for 3 years now, by the way. The F4D Phantom, because America can't have an F4C with flares. Not gonna happen because US only deserves to have good top tier aircraft. If it's not top tier anymore, America has to fuck off. Too bad. Well, that's my prediction for 2025. I'll continue working on my big video project after this and hope that I can upload it by next week. Thank you for watching. This is the Dr. MD. Godspeed.